Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a Lego set and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, go ahead, do me a favor, if you could, reply with those emotes. And if you're not yet a subscriber, you can just say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, you don't want to say anything, you just want to chill and relax, you just go ahead and lurk, and that's also okay. Lashberg is here. Ghost Valve is here. Welcome to both of you. Lord Crashington is here saying, hey, Pat. Hey to you, Lord Crashington. We got a great crew already here on a Thursday. Now, I don't know about you. Well, sorry. We'll get to that in a second. Aristophan is here saying, you only see this message once every 4 years. Subscribing for 66 months. So let's do the Bear Cave Lego site. Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. And thank Aristophan for subscribing at tier 2 for 66 months total of subscription. That's awesome. Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button. I will. It's the but I gotta put the motes in the chat first. It is the last day of this song. As Aristophan mentioned, it is a leap year, and so we get that extra day in February. The February flies by even with that extra day. Here's that dance song. Here we go. We'll groove a little. Oh yeah, we'll groove just a little bit. And I'll get my microphone set up in the way I like it. Oh yeah, all right. Then, yeah. Oh yeah. And that's just enough of that. Hell yeah. What I was going to say is, I don't know about you, but today does not feel like a Thursday to me, your friend Pat. It feels like a Saturday, which is funny because I know for a fact that if it was a Saturday, I would be fucking up right now. Because I would be in this room, instead of in my bedroom. Because this is the last stream in this room until next January. Unless something else happens, which I don't expect it to bring people up to speed on what that means. My folks are in Florida. They have been since about the middle of towards the tail end of January. They're coming back on Sunday. And what I didn't want to do is have to wake up really early on Sunday and move all of my setup, because that right there is a bookshelf that usually is on the wall underneath that painting over there. So I got to move that. I got to move all of this stuff out of the way. I got to pull a chair that's shoved in the corner out. I got to move all of my setup, my lovely setup. We'll go to the overhead so you can see it. It's moving day, yes. I got to move my desk that this is on and all my gear and the side table that has my third monitor and the camera and the overhead light. That's all got to move back over to my bedroom. And because they're coming back on Sunday, I want to be able to move that stuff in tomorrow and Saturday. So that I give myself enough chance to get everything together. So it can't be, tonight can't be a Saturday stream because I'm in here. So it's a Thursday stream. But it doesn't quite feel like Thursday. I don't know. That's just me, maybe. I don't know. That's where I'm at. We do have our Lego set that we're currently working on, which we're about to dive into. The Lego Interstellar Spaceship. It's Lego City is the brand, but Lego City Interstellar Spaceship sounds weird. It's almost Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Lego City Interstellar Spaceship. It doesn't work, yeah. Lego Interstellar Spaceship. Okay, so it does that. You can do Lego Interstellar Spaceship. But you can't put the city in there, so that's why I don't say the city part. But anyway, we got our base of this thing. There's a little, whoops, that popped off in a way that shouldn't have, because it's not fully done yet. But these open up, and then this piece slides out. See that there? It's pretty cool. Overhead light working well right now. Fingers crossed it will continue to work well. I think I know why it failed on Monday's stream, and I will prevent that from happening. It says it has a 2-hour battery life, so I thought I could use the battery on it. Turns out it's not really 2 hours at the brightest setting. And our astronaut here has a cool little backpack that also is like a little drone thing. And I like this backpack has a battery indicator on it. Like, oh, you got to recharge your batteries. That is a silly little thing that I like. Anyway, we're going to move on and start doing some building here. We'll put our pilot over here for now. And Put the backpack over there. We'll get to building. I did mention this on Monday. I believe it was on Monday. One of my goals is to try out something. As I'm moving everything back, there are 2 cable hookups in the house. One is here in this room, and that's where the router and the modem are. And the other cable hookup is in my parents' bedroom, which is across the hall from me. It's almost directly across where it is to my room. So it would go through like 2 walls of the Wi-Fi signal instead of where it sits. It goes through like a wall and then a really long hallway and then a bend and then the wall. And I have my Wi-Fi booster. My Wi-Fi booster does 2 things. One, obviously, it boosts the signal, right? It's supposed to be in direct line of sight with the device it's boosting, which this is not. So it's not doing as good a job as it could. The other thing it does is it has an Ethernet port on it. So I plug my computer directly into that the booster, which is awesome. That's really great because it treats it like it's a Ethernet port, not like it's a wireless device. And that's awesome because the built-in wireless on the Wi-Fi card that's built onto this motherboard is not particularly great. So it works out better for that. So I am going to experiment, and the plan is that I am going to take. I have some things to do it. Some wrenches. I am going to take the splitter because the cable splits, and one goes to the TV or goes to the cable box, and the other goes to the modem. I'm going to take that splitter and the cables and all that and swap it. So then in here in the living room, it will go directly from the wall to the cable box. And then in the bedroom, there'll be a splitter. And I have a power strip. I have an older power strip that will work just fine for this process. But I'll be able to take that, connect those 2 things together, and then I'll be able to see. Of course, before I do that, I'll get everything set up in the room and do a speed test. And then I'll do a speed test with the modem and the router fit way closer, and we'll see. Now, this does present a couple issues. I can, of course, not necessarily of course, maybe you don't know, but I can reset the router remotely. I can just log in and reset the router from the PC or my phone. And so that works, especially the phone. The phone helps a lot with that. I can do that. But if I have to reset the modem, I would have to physically touch it. And so that means that like after, say, 10 p.m. in the evening, I wouldn't be able to reset my router, which is not, or the modem, which is not the biggest deal in the world, but it's not as convenient as coming out here to the family room to reset it if there is an issue. I have to do this twice. See, this is the thing I don't like about Lego. This is if I could say one thing that I don't like about Lego, and there's a lot to love about Lego. A thing that I don't like about Lego is I have to do 2 of these. I didn't know I had to do 2 of these until the end, because it says, now go back to that step you just did. If it said at the beginning, I could have been doing this in parallel instead of doing it all now. So I don't love that. And that is not my biggest complaint with Lego, but it's a pretty tall complaint with Lego, we'll say. So now I got to go back to this step here. Yeah, I got to go all the way back here. Okay. Now, to be fair to Lego, it does right there show 2 of them, and I didn't notice that. I was, there isn't a 2x at the beginning or an x2 at the beginning. That was there, and I could have seen that. So I will say, that's partially on me. I think they could be more clear, but also I could have paid better attention, and I didn't. So, we'll call it even there. All right, what do we got here? We got a bunch of things to talk about tonight. I think I got through everything I want to talk about there. So I got some good and some bad news in the world of video game stuff. Obviously, there were a lot of layoffs. There have been more layoffs since Monday's stream. Major companies, smaller companies, some shutdowns, some redirections, various things and things. It's a bummer. Lots of bummers just everywhere. And it sucks. There is some good news out there. It's not a lot, but there's some. A small bit of news. Remedy has full control over the... all bummers. No, not all bummers, Lord Crashton. Some not bummers. I shouldn't say control. Remedy has, once again, full usage and rights to the Control IP. And you're thinking to yourself, didn't they always? Because they're not owned by a company. No. A way that some companies get to make games, because, of course, Remedy, Quantum Break didn't necessarily light the world on fire. So in order to make Control happen, one of the things they did was they negotiated with 505 Games to publish. 505 Games published Control and had a stake in Control. And then also they gave some bit of money for Control 2 and another game that Remedy is working on. And so they invested some with the idea that they would eventually be the publisher. Now, apparently, while it didn't necessarily do incredibly well, Alan Wake 2 has done well enough that Remedy has decided to invest that money in paying back the investments that 505 has made, and part of that paying back the investment. So instead of paying 505 back for the money they invested later, they did it now, and part of that deal is they control Control, which is great. They are and they've talked about how they still are going to look for publishing partners because they are not necessarily looking to self-publish, but it means that Control 2 and the other project they're working on, whose name I can't remember because I don't have the article in front of me, it does mean that they are in a position where they can look to a publisher and they can look to make a deal that doesn't give up ownership or partial ownership of the IP of the stuff they're working on. And that's a great place to be for a small company. An independent studio. Now, speaking of independent, Toys for Bob is going independent, everybody. That was a surprise today. Toys for Bob, who has been under the Microsoft Activision umbrella now, they're going independent. The people, the Spyro remastered trilogy, the Crash Bandicoot game that we recently did, and apparently they're looking to be a independent company that also continues to work with Activision Microsoft, but just not under the banner of Activision Microsoft. And that's awesome. Good luck to them. Hope that works out for them. It would be great to see more companies divest from their corporate overlords, if possible. That would be great. So good luck to them, of course. And now that brings us to the rumor mill. This next story is not, and I repeat, it is not a guarantee. It is sources have reported this. Kotaku is doing this reporting here. That rumor has it that Gearbox is looking to divest themselves from Embracer. They are attempting to break the embrace of Embracer. 3 years after they were purchased. I love the effect on step 55. Oh, yes, the effects here. Yes, Sax Parrot, Embracer, indeed goes foul. Yes, the effect does like lights there of just like, hey, shove this into there. Check this out. That is very fun. You're right. That is a neat bit of business. And then we, suddenly we have wings and things. So Randy Pitchford, the CEO and co-founder of Gearbox, reportedly, according to sources, again, this is not necessarily confirmed, had a all hands meeting at Gearbox to talk about some of the decisions that are coming, and they have some options. There are three scenarios: stay with Embracer, sell to someone else, or buy out the company and go independent. Again. And apparently, Kotaku is reporting that the rumors are that they are looking to sell to another publisher. We don't know. We don't know. Embracer did not respond for requests for comment, but don't worry. Randy Pitchford himself responded to Kotaku. So it wasn't the someone from the team over at Gearbox that you would expect would reply to these things. No, it was Randy. And I'm going to read this quote from Randy Pitchford, in my best magician voice. This is not how Randy Pitchford talks, but this is how I imagine Randy Pitchford talks when I'm reading this quote. Statement. As I continue working on this here. Yeah, cool. This is going to be the little display here, which is got a little screen print right on there. Very cool. I'm delighted that... Oh, sorry. I have to get in the right voice. I'm doing my, corporate ownership voice, and that's not the right voice for this. I need to get rid of the corporate ownership voice. I need to get into... I'm not just the CEO. I'm also a magician. I'm delighted that what we might be up to is interesting enough to people that you want to make a story about us for your readers. I'm honored and humbled that our company is a topic of rumor, speculation, and discussion. As always, we will be thrilled to share whenever we have projects to announce or news to share as we work hard towards our mission to entertain the world. Is this your card? He didn't say that part. I added that for effect, but it's a very... You get it. News to share as we work hard towards our mission to entertain the world. I would love Gearbox to divest themselves from Embracer. They are not just a studio there, but they are in charge of other studios, and so it's tricky and weird. But also... Dan Hewitt, apparently, this is a reporting from Bloomberg, they told staff back in September, ultimately we'll move ahead with whatever path is best for both Gearbox and Embracer. Again, according to a email to staff that was acquired by Bloomberg. Let's see. But yeah, we don't know. Certainly not sure what's happening with them. More information soon, I'm sure, as they move ahead, especially if they are looking to be bought out by another company that has to go through a whole rigmarole and a bunch of other stuff if they are going to get acquired by somebody else or backing or whatever. I am not surprised that they are not trying to move ahead with just Randy and some other people buying it out again. But yeah. So again, that's gaming right now. The best news I can tell you is one studio is going independent after already having layoffs before that. And then another studio maybe will leave the people that they sold to 3 years ago. Oofta. A lot of it is oofta around here. But yeah. I mean, here's the thing. The studio that brought you Skylanders is leaving. So it's just like, okay. One other bit of gaming news before we move over to... I have two bits of gaming news before we move over to talking about wrestling news. Because there's always some wrestling news. Helldivers 2. There's some Helldivers 2 news for you. They are teasing mechs. That's not necessarily news, but it is a tease, and that would make me happy. It would be cool. I think that game is fucking rad, and I think it would be radder with mechs. Also, they have a lore person. They have a dungeon master. His name is Joel, and Joel is basically writing the story, like the in-game universe story as it happens. So he is, if you're mad that some things are happening, you can play Joel. This is a great quote from, what's this guy's name? So here's the quote. I thought they announced mechs a while ago. So everyone is assuming that mechs are going to be in the game, but it hasn't been announced. It's just teased, but it has not been officially announced that mechs are coming. But everyone assumes they are because of leaks of people, not leaks, it's from people data mining. We have an actual person with the job title of Game Master. His name is Joel, and he takes his job very seriously. I mean, look, if you're the Game Master and you're not taking your job very seriously, I would be pissed off. So, good. Should be taking his job very seriously. He's the Game Master. We have a lot of systems built into the game where the Game Master has a lot of control over the play experience. It's sometimes continuously evolving based on what's happening in the game. As part of the roadmap, there are things that we want to keep secret because we want to surprise and delight. It's like, all right, yeah, sure. Dungeons & Dragons has been a major inspiration for Arrowhead. That's cool. But yeah, apparently Joel is making moves to make the AI and do stuff, and hopefully it will be great and a good time. There's your Helldivers 2 update. Excuse me. And now, Wrestle Talk. The almost full DLC for WWE 2K24, which I will be playing next Tuesday on stream here. My first stream of 2K24 will be next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on this very channel. The DLC was announced. There are still some names to come, but most of it has been announced. There are 5 DLC packs. The first, which comes out on May 15th. The last that comes out November 13th. The first pack is the ECW Punk pack. CM Punk, who was in WCW, ECW, but not in ECW proper. So CM Punk is coming to the game on May 15th. He's not in the base game. He will be coming as part of the DLC, but he's part of the first pack of DLC. That makes sense. These games get started way earlier than contracts are signed, and also often the people in the games are the last to know. And you might assume that perhaps the devs who were doing the last-minute fine-tuning of the game, maybe we're going to try to get CM Punk in there in the base game, and they had to work about other things like taking certain people out of the fucking video game and making sure they're not in that video game. Perhaps. But we got CM Punk, Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley. It would be weird if it was just one of them, but it would be funny if they were in different packs. I would think that would be very funny. They should have done that. They didn't do that. Sandman Terry Funk. You might go, Terry Funk. Terry Funk was integral to ECW being the company it became. His involvement with that company early on in the Extreme Championship Wrestling era of ECW was incredibly beneficial to that company. He does fucking moonsaults. It's wild. You also get ECW Paul Heyman manager card for My Faction. And then there's some superstar cards that'll come out that are probably related to that pack. In June 26, DLC 2 pack comes out, which is Post Malone and Friends. And I was looking at this list. So one, I talked about this before, but in case you were unaware, Post Malone is going to be DLC for the game. I will be able to play as Post Malone because I've got the season pass. It's weird. He supervised the soundtrack for the game, and he's in the game. And it's a strange, true thing. But I was like, friends, there's no way Post Malone has met any of these people. And I was like, oh, it's music. The theme is music. Because Sensational Sherry sang the theme song, the original version of Sexy Boy, the Shawn Michaels theme. She sang the original version, and then eventually he sang it himself. But originally she was that singer. Is Post Malone joining BWBW? Yeah, we're gonna have to have Posty in there. Look, I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna have every person in the DLC, but since I spent money on all this goddamn DLC, there's a good chance that some people on this list will be involved. We'll probably do like DLC a day, like where, oh, the new DLC came out, here are all the people, and we'll get a bunch of them. So this pack again is Post Malone himself, Sensational Sherry, Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers, they're grunge boys. Honky Tonk Man, he sang his own theme. He's the Honky Tonk Man. He didn't play guitar, but he hit people with guitar. And as a manager, Jimmy Hart. And you're saying, Pat, Jimmy Hart's not a musician. He didn't have a singer gimmick. No, he's a legitimate actual musician. He wrote a lot of music. A lot of the WCW era sound alike. Songs that sound like popular songs were Jimmy Hart productions. He's got writing credits on a bunch of stuff. One of the wrestling music albums that's out, he had a hand in, which for WWF at the time, the Rockin' Wrestling. He wrote a lot of that stuff. He sang on some songs. Jimmy Hart could have just been a music producer instead of a wrestling manager. It's a weird, true thing. So it honestly makes a fucking ton of sense to put him in there. DLC 3 is coming out July 24th. That's, we got May, June, July. That pack, there are things that are not being mentioned here. We don't know everything about this pack, except that we know it's the Pat McAfee pack. And it says, Pat McAfee, playable co-host. Stay tuned for more info. And so people are assuming, and I think rightfully assuming, oh, this is announcers. This is commentators, ring announcers, making them managers or playable wrestlers. It would be great if that's true, because that means that Wade Barrett would be a playable, and that would be really fun as DLC. I would love to see Wade Barrett in there. Michael Cole getting in wrestling again. Hopefully he has the right outfit for it. But that's the assumption that co-host means that. There's also there's also the theory out there that by co-host they mean co-hosts of Pat McAfee's sports podcast and show. And so that people were like, look, it probably means announcers and commentators, but what if it means that Aaron Rodgers will be in the game? And I'll just let you know, I'm not going to have CPU fights with Aaron Rodgers if he's in there. I don't think that the NFL would let that happen. I'm 99% sure that they wouldn't let that happen, but I don't know. So I assume that. And then DLC 4 is called Global Superstars, which is the shit. We don't know what the fuck to call this one. We don't, there's none of this has anything really to do with each other. Oh, I put this in upside down. Sorry. This is I got to put this thing in like this. I thought it went one way and it goes to other way. The global pack involves wrestlers who I would assume would have been in the game but aren't in the base game. Jade Cargill. And people were like, is Jade going to be in the video game before she's wrestled a match outside of the Rumble? Well, she doesn't come out until September, so maybe, but probably not. Oh, Nia Jax, Michelle McCool, Carlito, who's an active wrestler. Nia Jax is an active wrestler. Kairi Sane, she's a tag champion. We'll finally have official Kairi Sane in September. Lyra Valkyria, Dragon Lee, and then some other stuff. So that was I don't know. Well, we got Carlito and Dragon Lee in there, so we'll say it's the international pack. Okay, so this is an effects button. Let's see how this works. I press down. It opens up. Cool. That's a cool effect. And then I can just close it on its own and then pop that open. Close it up. Pop that open. I'll only do it one more time. We'll close it for now. Cool. We got an effects button on here. That's fun. That's a fun bit of business. I like that. We're going to keep building on this thing. Keep going here. And then DLC 5 for WWE 2K24, which again, I will be streaming next Tuesday. I paid the extra money for the season pass. We're part of the reason we're talking about this, because I'm going to get all of this. But more importantly, I'll be able to stream it on Tuesday instead of waiting the following week. So we're just doing that. And then we're getting the WCW pack is the 5th DLC on November 13th. I got to wait all the way to fucking November for Diamond Dallas Page, Iron Sheik, who was in WCW, but I would not associate him with that company. Mr. Perfect. Sure, Mr. Perfect was in both companies. If you're going to say WCW pack, you better be able to call him Kurt Hennig, because that's who he was in WCW. He was Kurt Hennig there. He wasn't Mr. Perfect. Great Muta. Yes, Great Muta did wrestle in and around WCW. And Lex Luger. Lex Luger is going to be in the game as DLC. Which is great. And it'll be all the way out in... And Diamond Dallas Page being in there, that's cool too. I like seeing that. I don't know if Great Muta can spit mist, but I assume he can. It will be sad if he can't. So it's cool they have Great Muta in there. I think that's neat. That's fun. And again, the first pack comes out May 15th, and we will be checking that shit out, I'm sure. There has been an update to the card for Revolution, for AEW Revolution, which having this Sunday. I will give my final thoughts on that. Not final thoughts, but like my predictions. I will give that on Saturday. A match has gotten replaced. The Meat Madness match, which apparently was supposed to feature, it was originally featured Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, and apparently was going to feature more people, including Keith Lee and Miro. Keith Lee not cleared, Miro taking time off. So because Tony Khan couldn't get all of the people he wanted for that match, he's postponing it. He's putting it on ice. So we're not getting Meat Madness. Instead, we're getting All-Star Scramble match, where the winner will receive a future AEW World Championship opportunity. And Meat Madness apparently, I guess eventually they were going to say Meat Madness was going to get that. So because it's a World Championship opportunity, my assumption is that Wardlow's going to win. The other people in the match besides Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer are Chris Jericho. You got to get Chris on the card somewhere, I guess. Hook, Brian Cage, and then two people who the Wikipedia just lists, but they've been decided, but it's a spoiler. Rampage was taped last Saturday, and the match that happened there, nobody knew the winner of that was for this, because they kind of just retconned it, and they'll have to make changes in the announcements or whatever. There'll be a voice when you watch Rampage. There'll be a part where Excalibur says something that clearly wasn't when they taped the rest of it. That's my guess how they'll handle that. And then another match is going to happen on Collision, which already happened. If you didn't know, Collision was taped last night after Dynamite because they are debuting a new set, new stage and set and all that. And so they need more time to get that set up. So they taped everything. They taped Rampage last Saturday, and they taped Collision last night, where they normally would tape a Rampage. And then they will just air those, and then they have more time to get their new stuff together instead of doing Collision on Saturday and then the pay-per-view on Sunday. So I don't want to tell you about the two other people that are in there because they are spoilers, and maybe you're going to watch. And so if you want to be spoiled, you can just go and look at it. But that All-Star Scramble match joins FTR versus Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. Christian Cage defending his TNT Championship against Daniel Garcia. Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita. Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for the Continental Crown. Timeless Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo for the Women's World Championship. Samoa Joe defending the AEW World Championship in a three-way fight with The Liar, Hangman Adam Page, and Swerve Strickland, because Hangman acted like he was hurt, but he wasn't hurt, and so he's still in the match. He was just being a dick because he is slowly turning heel. Sure. Let's see. So it's going to go like that. Great. So it still does the thing it's supposed to do. Great. Also Orange Cassidy defending the International Championship against Roderick Strong. And Sting and Darby Allin, the tag team champions, are defending the tag team titles against the Young Bucks, Matthew Jackson and Nicholas Jackson, the EVPs, with the stipulation that it is a tornado tag match, and it's also Sting's last match. Sting's final match. It's happening. It feels weird to say that, but that is what's happening. Wait, did I miss a... There's a thing there that I don't... Oh, no, it's one of these. Okay. This part here was in the instructions on an angle, which made it look like there was something in the middle, but there wasn't. Ooh, all right. So what are these going to do? These go over here. Okay. Moving on. Moving on our build. Our thrusters, I think these are supposed to be turbines or thrusters or something. That's my guess. There is no pre-show right now announced. Matches on the pre-show. There usually are for AEW. We still don't know if there is going to be anything to do with the TBS Championship. Julia Hart was apparently injured and not cleared to wrestle. So we don't know if there will be some kind of match involving her, maybe a tag match, or a number one contenders match, perhaps. You could get Thunder Rosa back on the card and do some kind of number one contender for that title. I would like to see more than 2 women in one match on the card. I know it's 9 matches, but this is AEW. Them doing 10 or 11 on the main card is not out of the realm of possibility, or at least on the pre-show. It would be nice. Maybe Athena on the pre-show. Hell, put Athena on the main show. Like, fucking, come on. Long overdue. All right, we're doing 2 of these. We're going to do them at once here. So, yeah, we don't know what the pre-show is. Every title so far is on the line except for the Trios titles and the TBS title. I could see the Trios titles, something involving them showing up on the pre-show as well, because there's no hot feud going on right now with those belts. It's just people being very misused. The Acclaim should be in the tag division. It's wild that they're not. It's wild that they're just hanging out. All right, what else we got here? Got a little more wrestling news here. Rumors are that the AEW is going to do a pay-per-view in April. Uh, Supposedly, Warner Brothers Discovery is really high on them doing more pay-per-view shows. So I could definitely see that happening. Um, it feels like an inevitability that they would be doing another one because they did file the copyright for the term AEW Dynasty. So I don't necessarily think that's a great name for a pay-per-view. But yeah. But they believe that's going to air in April. And it makes sense that they would start throwing in more pay-per-views, really. Without a streaming deal, it starts to become a little bit less of a easy thing. Like Revolution, I knew I was going to buy Revolution. Oops, sorry, dropped a piece. I'm going to get that now. I knew I was getting Revolution as soon as they were like, it's Sting's last match. I wouldn't call myself a WCW kid. I would not claim that for myself. But I watched a lot of WCW. I watched a lot of NWO era WCW. I was a fan of Sting before he became the Crow Sting, but certainly while he was. I'm going to watch his last match. Like, there's no way I'm not going to watch that match. Like, it's happening. So I always knew. But I've got to be like, well, if this next show is in April and it's on a Saturday, I'm probably not going to get it because I don't want to. I don't want to take time off on my streams to watch wrestling unless I absolutely have to. Hey, folks, I'm going to tell you right now. My plan is to not ever take time off from streams. That's just my plan. That is just my modus operandi, is to not take time off from streams. I might take WrestleMania off. There's just so much good wrestling. Like, I might just take that Saturday off and watch 2 nights of WrestleMania. It kind of depends on how the card is going to come together. Because if there's matches that I want to see live in the moment, I'm going to see them live. Like, that's kind of the thing. Like, that's just how I'm feeling about it. Like, I can't tell you for sure that I won't take that off. There's going to be so much wrestling that week. I haven't even built my schedule out yet because there's stuff to figure out, like the indie shows around that week. There's a Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show. There's a GCW versus Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling that I want to see both of those. The reportedly last ever big gay brunch is going to happen. It's brunch. That won't affect the streams, certainly. But there's like a bunch of, there's going to be a Ring of Honor show that week that looks like, like that always is going to do pretty well card-wise. So I'm like, all right, well, I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on that week. I might take that Saturday off and just stream, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I might do that. I haven't fully committed to anything. I got to see when things are. If the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show happens while I'm supposed to be streaming, I might, that might become a priority. I don't know. And as always, friends, this is my priority over most things. Doing this is the thing that I like quite a bit. I very much enjoy streaming and hanging out with all of y'all. It is the thing that I look forward to more than most other things. But I do like hanging out with friends and watching wrestling and shooting the shit and doing all that. And WrestleMania week, that feels like an okay week to be a little selfish, if I can be a little selfish on occasion. Probably also good for me just on occasion to like break my schedule. I'm a creature of habit. I like having a schedule. I like sticking to that schedule. And so every once in a while when my schedule gets rocked, it's probably good for me to be like, nope, Pat, you gotta think about other things right now. It's like, yeah, that's probably good on occasion. Oh, okay. So the little button thing here has a little thing that goes on there. Closes up. It's kind of weird. we press that down and these open up. And then when it closes up, it raises up, which is strange. It looks weird. It looks weird raised up. But whatever. Pretty cool. And we can open up those as well. And that's it. Oh, Jam subscribed with Prime 73 months. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 Balloon Emote in chat. Everybody throw those emotes in the chat because Jam subscribed for 73 months. Thank you so much, Jam, for your continued support. 73 is so many goddamn months. I really appreciate it. Welcome and thank you, as always. Yeah, that is it for our build here. Yeah, that thing pops up and pops down. Yeah, and those go down. Okay. I gotta say, the only match at Revolution I'm really interested in is Eddie versus Brian. Probably buying it just for that. Lastbrook, I understand. Obviously, that is a priority for me. Deanna and Tony have a lot of history, and they're both very excellent wrestlers. And I'm here for Timeless Tony Storm, so I think that's going to be off the hook and great. Will Ospreay versus Takeshita. It's not for anything except for turning Will Ospreay face, I assume. But I also think that's going to be a killer match. That might be a main event on TV more than a pay-per-view match, but I still think that's going to be great. And Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page. I would be happy with any of them being the new champ. I think I want a fully heel Hangman chasing the belt. So I'd prefer a Joe or Swerve championship. I think. But I'd also be fine. But Hangman's first run, it was the chase, and then once he became champion, they kept putting him with cool heels or other baby faces. Like what? He had one great match with Lance Archer, but everything else was like Adam Cole, beloved, even though he was a heel. And then Danielson was a heel, or was a face, and CM Punk was a face, and it was like, what are we doing here? So I wouldn't mind another run from our boy if we could get it. But I also understand if we're not going to get that. So I'm happy with any outcome. I don't know. I'm bummed because I don't like thinking that a Orange Cassidy match is a, like, whatever. I think the build has been so bad, and I care so little about the UK team. They're not from the United Kingdom. But the Undisputed Kingdom, I care so little about that group that it makes me care nothing about that match. The only thing is there exists a small possibility that all of the best friends are going to turn heel. And I would love that because Orange Cassidy is a great heel. That character is made to be a heel. Chuck Taylor is a phenomenal heel. Trent is a phenomenal heel. Rocky Romero is a transcendent heel. And Danhausen, who's not really around these days, is also an incredibly great heel. Heel best friends could be money. I don't think they'll do it, but they could do it. It'd be fucking great. We could maybe get Trent and Chuck those tag belts someday. Finally. Fucking finally. Anyway, this is done. We have another thing to work on, but I got to take photos of this first. So let's get some photos. I'm going to do 2 photos here. I'm going to do our pilot outside the vehicle and then inside the vehicle being cool. So I'm going to take 2 quick photos here. I'll show off this before we take the photos. So here is our build. This is one of my favorite Lego sets I've built in quite some time. Oops. Did I do this wrong? Did I do this wrong? I might have done this wrong here. I'm just noticing it now, friends. I did do this wrong. All right, let's fix that. These should not be like that. I'm going to use the brick separator, which I have not had to use much for this. And the easiest way to do it is I'm going to go over here, attach it to here, and then I'm going to try to lift just one piece here, which came up nice and easy. Great. So this should go like this, and then this goes like that. And that makes way more sense. I didn't even notice it until I started fiddling. Oh, I can just separate it like that. Great. I don't have to get fancy with it. But yeah, I think Revolution has some cool shit, and of course Sting's last match I'm excited about. I'm excited about really seeing the I don't like Darby Allin as a wrestler or as a person, but I know that he's going to bump his ass off for Sting. And I have a lot of fondness for the Stinger. All right, so let's show this off here. So yeah, our cockpit opens up here. Got a nice little display screen. I like that. I think this looks really fucking rad. This is a cool looking ship. See on the side there. And then of course when we press down, these things pop open, and that's awesome. That just looks cool as hell. It looks very fucking cool for back here. Just the light here a little bit, so you can see a little better. Here. There we go. I think this just looks fucking phenomenal. This is a really fun build, pretty simple. If I wasn't streaming, it would have been a lot faster, but obviously I am streaming, so it did take some time. But I think that it's just very neat looking. Lego City, I'm going to be building more. I have one other Lego set from that. I have some on my wish list. If you're interested in me doing more of these Lego builds. But again, I do have a van, a food truck van, the Penguin Slushy van. So I'll be happy to build that soon. At some point when that wins a poll. All right, so let's get this photo in here. Okay. And then we will put our pilot in the vehicle here. Put you in here. Oh. There we go. Hands up here and then lean you back, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, put that in there, and then we'll do the cool effect version. And we don't need that for this photo. Trying to do this so my keyboard, which is an easy reach for me for the streams, is not in the way of my photo. Great. All right. Yeah, this thing is sharp. I like the look of this a lot. If I had a Lego stand for this, it would be nice to kind of have it up. I guess maybe I would say that. If I could say one thing, this was $20, and I think for $20 is a really great Lego set for $20. If I could have one complaint about it, it would be that I think it should have a stand because I would love to have this elevated. You could obviously, with spare Lego, make your own damn stand for it, you know? Easily. You know, got plenty of pegs in the bottom there. You could easily make something, but, you know, if you don't have that, you can't do that. All right, so we're going to put that aside here. We'll look at that later. And then we're going to take a pause for the cause. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel and do all that. And then we come back from the pause for the cause. We're going to start a model kit. We're starting a gorgeous model kit. Oh, I'm so excited about it. Oh, I can't wait to start this model kit. The Devil Gundam, clear. But first we're going to go over here, and then I'm going to change the name. Again, I knew we would get started with this kit, but I didn't know it would be, you know, halfway through the stream. I thought it would be like at the end. So I'm going to change Gunpla, Devil Gundam, clear version, which is what it is. All right. So I'm glad I ran that poll. Thank you to the $10 patrons that voted in the poll, because now we know that I'm going to be starting a good one. The Devil Gundam, clear. It's going to be a good nonsense build. Pretty quick, honestly. I'll probably have to have a poll up soon because it really won't take much time to build that. To build this thing. There's not a lot to it. It'll be pretty easy. But before we can get into that, We've got to talk about ways you, that's right, you, the viewer, can support what I do here. Everything that I will be talking about right now is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things. These are just like ways to support what I do here outside of you being here once in a while. Maybe retweeting a tweet if you see it on there, or, like sharing with a friend if you know someone that likes model kit building and talking about wrestling and anime and video games and such. That wants like a stream to hang out, with a streamer who's building some stuff that maybe you would never build, or something you have built. It's me. Maybe it's me. Hitting the follow button, knowing when I go live and all that. Those are ways to help me that I always appreciate. But there are other ways. First and foremost, if you are currently subscriber to the Bill Bear Workshop, you can throw the Barricade, the Lego, the Tier 2 Blue emote if you are there, the Scythe emote. Let the people know. Being a subscriber, you don't see ads. Already, that's a win. You support me financially. That's great for me. I get to keep doing this stuff. And you get some cool emotes. The Tier 2, you get the blue emote. The other ones are there and have been for a while. That's fun. I don't know. I think emotes are neat. So, you get those. And that's a way to support me here. This easiest way, through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. Wrist Fan used some Cash Money tonight. Jam uses their Prime Gaming token, and you can use that as well. If you have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch, you get that token. You can use it for anybody. And if you wanted to use it for me, I would be personally pleased with that. That would make me happy if you want to do that. So that's the easiest way to support what I do here. The other way to support me is through, another way is through my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon at your leisure. I'd love to have you over there. And youtube.com/PatBear is the YouTube. Subscribing is free, of course, but if you want to become a member over there for $2 a month, you join there, you become a member. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday, so you get a little leg up. It's pretty good. And if you wanted to, you could, you can do that, and it's just another way to support me. If you already are in the ecosystem where they have your credit card on file, you can just use, or your PayPal or whatever, you can just use, YouTube. And those are all monthly ways to support me. There's also direct donations if you want to help me out that way. A tip jar, basically, with my Ko-Fi or my PayPal. And everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I buy model kits. The kit that we are working on right now, the Devil Gundam. The Devil Gundam was a premium Bandai reprint from last year. There's the Devil Gundam with the cool box. The box says 2022 on it. I assure you, this was from 2 years ago then, this box is the only new part of the kit that I am building. It is maybe new plastic, but the design is from 1995. It's old. The kit is fucking old. Even the instruction booklet is from, I believe it's from 1995, right? Yes, 1995. That's the design. It's a very old kit, but it's clear parts and a new box. Came out 2 years ago. I was able to buy that because of your generosity. Pascu is helping present me out. Now, I do have a backlog full of cool shit that I would be happy to build. If you want to decide what I work on next and jump the queue and become the next thing that I build, head on over to my Amazon wish list. If you buy something from my wish list, it'll arrive to me here in the mail. I will open it up. I will do a dedicated video about the thing that you purchased. You can include a note or keep it anonymous. And then it'll be the next thing that I build. It'll jump the queue. I've got Lego sets. I got model kits. I have inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits that go on sale all the time, kits with free shipping. I want to highlight that on my wish list. I have a hot dog food truck, Lego hot dog food truck, and a Lego burger truck. That is a pickup truck where the bed looks like a burger, is a food truck, of course. They're both food trucks. Those are both available, and I would be happy to build those if you want me to build them. And I got model kits and Lego sets and all kinds of stuff on there. Expensive kits, inexpensive kits, all kinds of different things. If you like to see something that you'd like to see me build, I also put on my wish list a Mega Man Battle Network Dark Mega Man model kit. It is the cheapest Mega Man model kit I could find on Amazon. It's still incredibly expensive. The Mega Man kits are so fucking pricey, but almost every year since I've started this, every fucking year since I started this, somebody will ask me, hey, have you ever built one of those Mega Man kits? And the answer is no, because they're so expensive. But now they're on the wish list. And there's some gear at the bottom because some people want to help me out, but they don't know what to buy. So I put some gear up because maybe that will entice them. Wish list, YouTube. Okay, there. My alternative to Amazon is Throne. I recently updated my Throne wish list with some new stuff. Check that out if you want to help me out, but you don't want to use Amazon. I get it. And then USA Gundam Store is the most convoluted way to support me financially. You go to USA Gundam Store, you buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store, they send you an email with the gift card code, then you send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter with that gift card code. And again, if you buy something from my wish list, I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about that thing, and then it'll jump the queue and become the next thing I built. If you want to support me and not spend any money, I got a Discord. You're welcome to join the old Discord. It's full of fun shit. Check that out. Check out the Discord. And let's see, what else do we want to say? A couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I did an update of an older video of mine. A previous Pat Baer's Anime Club. I talked about where to start with Gundam. And I have a new answer for 2024. And so I updated. In the future, I will do other videos like that, more updates in the future, because I like the idea of doing that. So I could see myself doing that again. So take a look at that video, see if you agree or disagree. And some people in the comments, I should say, I don't always shout this out. The comments for this one, so people give some alternative first Gundam series, and I appreciate that. And then Kuma Baer. This episode of Kuma Baer is new. I put it up yesterday. Your weekly anime recommendation. We are ending our romance month. The month of February is over now as far as this project is concerned, because I wanted to talk to you about My Love Story, a goddamn modern classic romantic comedy set in high school. Two lovable goofs. One's a big oaf. The other one is a klutzy ditz, and they find each other, and it is so goddamn adorable and great, and there's some action in it, and there's some sadness, and some of the minor characters get plenty of chances to shine, and it is sweet as hell. You can find it subtitled on Crunchyroll and dubbed on Hulu. Yeah, Hulu. Because it didn't make it over in the Funimation because it's on Hulu. So the dub that was on Funimation didn't end up on Crunchyroll. It's fucking legality. It sucks. Anyway, watch that video, and I think I'll convince you that you should check out My Love Story, which is great. And then that ends Romance Month. And then, hey, I'll tell you this right now, friends, before we get into talking about more anime. March's theme is girls doing things. Not things. It is the genre subgenre that's also referred to as cute girls doing cute things. It's Girls Doing Things Month, because I didn't have a particular theme for it, and I just decided I wanted to talk about that. I just was like, I'm not going to wait. There is the chill slice of life is coming later in the year. I know I don't know every single anime I'm recommending. I haven't figured out all 52 that I'm going to recommend to you. But I do know the monthly categories. Like, I'm going to do like my favorite shows from the winter season will be April. I don't know what 4 of my favorite shows for that season are. I know 2 of them that I'm going to recommend, but I don't know all 4. So I'm going to have to like wait until we get closer to April to really figure that out. But I do know the categories for the months. I figured that out. And I think it's going to turn out great. Anyway, we're going to work on this kit here and talk about some anime, but I need to drink some water, and we need to dramatically transition back to our overhead, which we're going to do right now. All right. Before we talk about anime, and we're going to, a little bit about this kit. This is a kit from 1995 from the anime G Gundam. This is the Devil Gundam. If you watch the dub and you only watch the dub, you will know it as the Dark Gundam. Because there's the God Gundam and the Devil Gundam. They didn't call it the Devil Gundam, it's the Dark Gundam. This kit is weird. It is a weird looking kit. We're going to look at this beautiful box art here. This is the limited item premium Bandai kit here. You'll notice that there are eyes here and eyes here and eyes there. That's because this is a kit that transforms. And the transformation is a head that has a torso and a body coming out of the head. The legs and the chest and the feet, the waist and the feet of this kit is just a giant head because this is a monstrosity of a kit. It is a monstrosity of a mobile suit. The Devil Gundam is a Gundam. This is the clear color version of it. There are still stickers. There will still be some stickers we apply. Not that many. This kit was designed in 1995. This plastic is not from 1995. This is a reissue of the plastic in a clear variety, but this is not a redesign. The box says 2022 because that's when this box was created and this color scheme, when it was repackaged and the clear variety of it. But to be clear, this is a non-graded kit. This is not a high grade. This is not the Devil Gundam HG. This is part of the non-graded line. It is in the 144 scale, if I remember correctly. Yes, this is the Devil 144, but it is not a high grade. The color version of this we have built on stream. The regular version that needed paint to really shine because it didn't have enough stickers, honestly. Because the toes aren't yellow in the original version. They should be. But the clear variety of this is still going to look really good. We've got some really vibrant colors with this kit. Look at this goddamn red. Holy shit. Look at this beautiful orange. It's just incredible. Oh, we should look at these. The orange is so fucking good. The clear white is fantastic. And the red, oh God, the red. The red is unbelievably good looking. I was so thrilled when I saw that. And then you're like, well, Pat, there's black. You know, that probably doesn't look too good. The black is clear too, and I don't think you're going to be able to tell. I don't think this camera in this lighting is not going to be able to read that. The photography might, when I take photos of this, that might work out. But please believe me when I say that this is a clear black, that I can see through this. Maybe holding up to this camera would be better. You can maybe see that. But please believe me when I tell you that this is opaque, but it's still see-through. You can still see, I can still see my hand, my finger underneath it. It's really impressive. So even though these aren't going to be the right color, you let it slide because it's going to look fucking dope as hell. And we will still be using the stickers and all of that. I have them marked so I know which stickers I need because this is 1995. And there are polycaps. This is the 1994 polycap release. That's 1994 because this is the polycaps for all of the G Gundams. So the hands that every G Gundam kit had, all of this was part of it because all of the G Gundam kits had at least enough of a base that were similar that you could just use this for all of that. And we might not even use all these polycaps for this kit, but this is the 144 scale G Gundam stuff. I'm very excited about this, in case you couldn't tell. You might be able to tell. All right, now we're going to talk about some anime while I start working on this beautiful kit. It's Villainous Night. We got 2 animes about villainesses. So we will start with that as I start. Oh, you know this is an old kit. When the polycaps aren't numbered, they're lettered. Polycap C. We got to do that. We'll get step 1s and 2s. Oh, yeah, and you sometimes... Oh, that's right. Sometimes you need to use your nippers for the polycaps because they don't always come off clean. I totally forgot about that. It's been a while since I did a non-grade from this era. We've done these small G Gundam kits from this era. We've done a couple of those. All right, so we'll get that together here. And I'm going to start telling you about Villainous Level 99. I have been waiting for this episode. This episode was the one that I, more than any other episode, was so excited for. It is the debut of a not super important but very fun character in the world of Villainous Level 99. So the episode opens a little differently than most episodes because we are seeing and hearing the internal monologue of Patrick, the supporting character that clearly has feelings for our girl Yumiella, but also has an understanding that Yumiella is weird and doesn't pick up on social cues. She just doesn't quite get those things. So he at least understands that most of the time. Let's see. One thing about these clear kits is it's sometimes hard to read the numbers because the numbers are also clear because the whole thing is fucking clear. So sometimes these are a little difficult to figure out, but we'll manage. So Patrick is there's a break coming up, the winter break, and Patrick has to go back to his the frontier where his family is from, and he's like, hey, working up the courage. He's going to ask her to come visit him, because she would probably like that area. There's a bunch of dungeons she's never been to. So he's working up the courage to ask her to like, hey, do you want to like come visit me during break or whatever? And she's just like, oh yeah. Like he doesn't even ask because he asked her like politely, like, well, what are you up to? And she's like, I have some plans. I'm very excited about them. So he never even gets to ask. Then we just got a quick shot of him. Apparently over break, he just trains really hard to level up because he wants to be stronger. Because he is under somewhat of a misunderstanding that she doesn't find people who aren't strong attractive. That is her excuse to get rid of people, and he doesn't know that is just an excuse. Because, of course, he has romantic feelings for her. And he comes back to school to find Yumiella on the first day of their second year at school, and she has in her arms a black egg. It's a dragon egg. And she's like, yep, this is my baby. It's my child. To his consternation. Because we flash back here a little before Yumiella. Yumiella is approached by someone named Jessica Monford. Jessica Monford is like, hi, we could use your help. She lives out in her area is being, there is a dragon. A dragon has shown up. And Yumiella is just like, oh yeah, I'll go help you out. And Yumiella recognizes, oh, I think because of me and how weird I'm being, because I'm not bullying Alicia, Alicia and Jessica didn't end up becoming friends. And that happened in a different version of, in the game world. She's like, oh, I caused that. So I guess I should help out Jessica. Also, she's going there to defeat 2 dragons. They thought there was just 1 dragon. No, there's 2 dragons. This is an event from the game. And the main reason that she's going there, also I should say, she easily defeats these 2 dragons, and they are both CGI, and it doesn't look that bad. They are definitely not there's at least one shot where one of the dragons is also digital, but they're not fully digital. But they don't look like terrible, even though they're CGI dragons. It's not the worst. She fights the dragons, easily kills them, and she finds the dragon egg. Now, this is an event in the game, apparently, so that the hero's party has a mode of transportation to get them around to the various places they need to go to. And our girl was like, well, one, I don't think they'd be able to defeat the dragons. That's not what Yumiella thinks, but that's what I think. And two, Yumiella is just like, worst comes to worst, this dragon is my ticket out of here. This dragon can fly me to another kingdom if I have to leave this kingdom. Because our girl is practical in her sometimes goofiness. Which I don't blame her. At some point, people could decide that she's a nuisance or something. So let's see. We need 37 over here. I'm going to try to be very careful as I clip these out because some of this clear plastic, even though this was printed, this plastic was probably made around in 2022, but because it's clear, it can still be kind of fragile. Kind of brittle. Hopefully it won't be, but it can be. That's 37. So the real reason is, yeah, she just wants to get away. Patrick is trying to be very supportive of the fact that she has a fucking dragon's egg. Also, our girl, Yumiella, has grown attached to it because she's been feeding it mana. So with the idea that, it's going to hatch and form a bond, and it will consider whoever was giving it mana its parent. So it's not going to be mad that she killed its actual parents, the dragons. It'll bond with her, which is fucking convenient. But also, this is a game world, so originally it was supposed to be a game world, so it makes sense that it's pretty chill about that. All right, so this goes in like this. Separating this plastic later could be tough, so I'm going to try to get this together right and easy. And there is a sticker that will go on there. We'll just snip there. But there is a sticker. So we're going to put the sticker on in a second here. We'll get the other side done. Let's see what else happens there. The egg hatches. And it's an adorable little dragon that is pink and black. And Yumiella is immediately head over heels. She loves this fucking thing. It is, Patrick says that, I know you wanted it to be cute, but it is cool looking. But it definitely isn't cute. She thinks it's adorable. I think it's cute. It's a little digital animated dragon that's like the length of her body and really adorable. And instantly, this dragon is like, this is my mom. I love her. I love this. I'm happy. This is fun. She's happy. They're happy together. She names him Ryu, and they just bond. And then they go to sleep in the same bed, and it's adorable. And then the next morning, Ryu is fucking huge. He is now he is now no longer digital. He is, unfortunately, all computer generated, which is a fucking bummer. And he is a giant dragon that can barely get out of the window. But he has just grown so much in overnight. Everyone is freaked out, the students that are around, because suddenly there's a dragon on campus. The girl that some people think is a demon lord has a fucking black dragon just hanging out. And everyone is, I think in this case, rightfully freaked out. The one character who is not freaked out is Eleonora. Eleonora, who we know, who in the game world is supposed to be kind of conniving, but clearly got manipulated into being a bad person, a villainess. But she is not. She is just kind of a ditz. She likes Ryu quite a bit for some reason, which is nice. She just thinks that Ryu is strong and handsome, which is fun. Anyway, they find a storage shed that they can put Ryu, the dragon, because he can't live in the dorms anymore. There is a scene where Patrick and uh, and Yumiella are, there's a difficult conversation they have to have. And we get a little bit of a romantic rom-com, I should say, not, romantic comedy nonsense thing where she's like, I bet we're thinking the same thing. And he's like, yeah, oh, really? And he should go, no, we're definitely not thinking the same thing because you're a weirdo and you probably don't like me the way I like you. So he should have recognized immediately there's no way we're thinking the same thing. But he falls for it and goes, yeah, all right, we're thinking the same thing. And he starts to confess that he has feelings for her. And she goes, I really want to fly on Ryu, but I'm scared. There's no way he would have thought that. But yeah, she wants to fly on her dragon, but she's just like, I don't know. She's like, what if I fell off? And he's like, yeah, that would be terrifying. And she's like, I know, right? If I fell on someone, it would hurt them. She's convinced, and I think rightfully so, if she fell, she would be fine because she is level 99 and falling would not hurt her. Anyway, he realizes she's not going to confess. She does go for a flight, and she's flying around the city on a dragon that is bigger than we last saw it. It is now just fucking enormous. It's such a huge dragon, and everyone in the city, the town that is around the school, is fucking terrified because there is a black dragon. Like, forget a dragon at all. There's a particularly black dragon that is just around, flapping around, being in their airspace, and that's terrifying to everybody. Okay, so this is 19, which is this here. Okay, we're going to do all of step 3, and then we'll do all of step 4, where we're just working on the arms here. So I need 17, which is, again, sometimes a little hard to read this. Let's see. She falls off Ryu. Long story short, they're flying. She falls off her dragon. She lands in the ground. She is fine, but Patrick freaks out because he is worried about her because she just fall out of the sky. She is fine, but she realizes, like, okay, I'm going to let him panic about this. I'm going to let him have this. And then a few days later, she's heading to the city, that the same town that she was just a couple days ago freaked everybody out in. She is going to show up. She is looking for pet supplies, and maybe she can find a harness for a dragon. I don't think she's going to be able to find that, but she's confident she can try. When she is approached from behind by a mysterious hooded person that reveals that they are a spy from the neighboring kingdom of Remlist, and the spy wants to talk to Yumiella. Dun dun dun! We'll find out more about that in the next episode. We finally got the character that I've been waiting for. The dragon Ryu is there. I wish that he was digital and not in any way, shape, or form CG. I'm bummed about that. I wish he wasn't CG, or CGI, I should say. It would be so much better if he was all a cool digital friend. But he's there, and I'm happy about him because I love that fun dragon. Gonna be neat to have him around. 45. Okay. And then jumping from one Villainous story to the other, the 7th time loop episode. So Reese asked for a favor. She wants to be trained by the Knights. So she is in a week-long training program, training under Count Lawvine, and she is posing as a man named Lucius. She got a wig and a gear to do that. Now, of course, we get the alternative reality timeline thing where she remembers stuff from her past. She remembers this dude was super loyal to the Empire. But 3 years from now, in that alternative timeline, he is executed as a war criminal by Arnold. and she doesn't know why, because she wasn't like deep in contact with everybody from that, so she doesn't know what happened. She just knows, oh, okay, well, shit did not go well for that dude. Okay, so 45, 45, and then 42 is the other one. So, so she's training to be learning. She wants to learn their fighting techniques and all that. And then they have to go on a date. That was part of their arrangement, Arnold and Reese. She is dressed up for this date. She's not thrilled about having to dress up and be all pretty for it, but she does it. And they go and meet Mihaela, who is a jewelry shop owner that works very exclusively. She tests Reese to find fake gemstones. And of course, she had a different life as a merchant. So that's not going to slow her down at all. All right, so the large one goes in the back. These go in here. This goes in here. And then I got to put a large one in the back. So Mihaela is very impressed with that. Let me find 42. 42 is this cap, not the biggest caps, the smaller cap. Okay. So then she is able to buy a ring for the wedding. And usually rings are not used in her home country's ceremonies. But Arnold is just like, look, I'm buying a very expensive wedding ring. By agreeing to it, you are helping me boost the economy. Which is like, I mean, I guess technically true, but okay. Sure, dude. We already finished an arm. Can I say how weird it is that we're building a model kit where we start with the arms? I'm so used to starting with the head or the chest. Often the chest, sometimes the head, and occasionally the feet. But we're starting with an arm. That's just such a weird place. Like, we built the whole arm. It's just a strange thing. It looks so goddamn good, though. Goddamn. Look at it. Look how cool it is. All right, let's work more arms. So she agrees, and then she blushes. There's an embarrassing, a little rom-com moment. This episode also has its rom-com moment because she requests that the jewel be blue, the same icy blue as Arnold's eyes. Oh, nice. And then Reese also figures out, the transparency looks nice. I think it looks gorgeous, especially the clear parts. And the polycaps are still gray, which is fine because, I think it's neat that you can see them. It's almost like the inner workings. While it would be incredible if they made the polycaps clear, I know that would be very difficult. I have built a clear kit with clear polycaps before, but that is very rare for Bandai to do that. The Goof Cat is raiding with a party of 4. Welcome, the Goof Cat and friends. Hello. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. We are currently working on the Devil Gundam from G Gundam, the ultimate evil model kit. A kit that is a torso and chest and head of a mobile suit that comes out of a giant head that also serves as the feet. It's a weird kit, and we're building it. And I appreciate y'all being here. I'm talking a little bit about anime. I'm going to wrap up the anime talk in just a minute, and then we'll get into some video game talk, most likely, I assumedly. But welcome, y'all. Hit the follow button if you haven't already, so you know when I go live, because I build model kits a lot, and I would love for you to check out another stream. We're talking about the 7th Time Loop, which is it's an anime that's currently out right now, currently running episodes about a woman that keeps repeating her lives over and over again, and every life ends because of a war that is coming. And the last time she died, the 6th time, or the 6th time she died, because it's the 7th loop, it was the hands of the emperor of a neighboring kingdom, and this time around, she's engaged to marry him. She's going to find out what the fucking deal is, why he keeps becoming an evil emperor and destroying everything, and she thinks that maybe she can like prevent this loop of death that keeps happening. Um, let's see. She figures out that there is a neighboring prince, Prince Kyle, is coming, who was a small but wealthy nation that Arnold in the future timeline, Arnold decides to destroy. And again, she doesn't know why that comes to play, but she does know that is planned. So she's trying to figure out that stuff too. Reese remembers from previous lives what she knew about him, which is that he is an herbalist because he's a sickly individual, and that's all she really remembers about him. Arnold doesn't like Kyle and thinks his visit is there's a reason for his visit. So he wants the Count Lawvine that we met earlier, who is in charge of the night training, to keep an eye on him. And then we get a little bit of a this is not necessarily a romantic comedy thing, but it's that kind of trope. Is Reese is like, oh no, but I've been posing as a man to take training from him, and if he spends too much time around me, he's going to figure out that I'm Lucius. Oh no. So now she's got to like hopefully make sure that he doesn't put two and two together, because then her cover will be blown and she won't be able to complete her training. And then also it maybe would be minorly scandalous if the prince's fiance is parading around as a man, learning their secrets, night training or whatever. Night with a K, I should specify. And that's the episode. Some drama stuff, cute scenes, the timeline stuff. It gave me everything I wanted. It didn't have a lot of action in it. There was some night with a K training, but there wasn't like a lot of it. But it was still like a fun episode. Not my favorite one, but still good. I think last week's was way more boring, so I'll take this one over that. All right. As I move on to start working on what I think is the feet or like the waist, I can't remember what part of the kit we're working on next. Oh, the thing is so weird. Yeah. Yes. We are working on the legs, and then we're going to put them on the feet. As we prepare to work on the legs, I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What's got you going? What are the games that you're playing, or stuff you're looking forward to? You're going to go to the movies this weekend, or if you're doing any cooking you want to tell me about. I made pork fried rice today that turned out fucking excellent. I cooked the rice this afternoon and then chilled it and then refrigerated it so that it wasn't day-old rice, which is obviously the best rice, but it wasn't like I made it fresh and then put it in there. So it was fried rice after the fact, which is still the best, in my opinion, the best way to do rice like that. And then it was grilled pork that I then diced, egg. Just egg whites, because that's the liquid eggs I have right now is egg whites. If I had regular eggs, I would do that. Onion, mixed vegetables, all fried up together. Some great soy sauce. I had to get bottled soy sauce recently, and the stuff I got is nice. It's not too salty, but it's got a good salty flavor. So I'm a big fan of that. I'm enjoying. I enjoyed my dinner. It was really good. I probably should have made more so that I could have leftovers. I didn't. That's me fucking up that I didn't make leftovers. But I didn't. I did not make any leftovers for that. I just ate it all, and it was fucking rad. I'm doing all my favorites because my folks are coming back on Sunday, so I won't be in charge of meals, and they don't. They'd rather get Chinese food from a takeout place, which I understand. I totally get that. But they would rather have takeout than make it at home and do a stir fry, which is like, yeah, sure, all right. If you want to, you can, it's like if that's how you want to do it, you can. But that's all right. And then tomorrow I'm going to make a steak sandwich, chopped steak sandwich. I've got provolone. I'd run out of provolone. I recently got some provolone, so I can throw that on there. More onion, and that's going to be real good. That's going to be real good. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's just going to be incredibly tasty. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. And then Saturday, my last day of cooking for myself for a while, I will make pan-fried chicken, because that is my favorite thing to make, is because it's just easy and tastes so good. I'm going to do pan-fried chicken and french fries and a mixed vegetable, probably. If I have corn, I'll do corn. I think I ran out of corn, frozen corn, so I'll just do a mixed veg, and that will be very good. And that'll be my last night of cooking. My next 2 nights, last night's cooking for myself. As far as video games and the like, I have been playing Helldivers, and I've been playing Helldivers like at night. I played last night while watching wrestling, and it was really fun. I recommend, if you got a crew, Helldivers 2 is great, and they've kind of straightened out a lot of the stuff. It's working better. It's not perfect, but it's in a better state than it was at launch. I think you can just join in with randos and it's fun, but if you got a crew, that game is better with a crew. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's just really fun. And I am really enjoying with that. I have taken a break from Balatro. I finished it on the normal difficulty, and I'm trying to do better difficulties and beat it at higher difficulties and running into a lot of problems, and it is starting to frustrate me, so I'm going to take a break from that. And then, of course, I'm playing Hearthstone. And then, I should say, Power Wash Simulator. I played that on Tuesday. If you missed that stream, the VOD is up. It's on here on my Twitch, and also the VOD is on my YouTube, my Pat Bear VODs YouTube channel, if you want to check that out. That was fun to play. I made it to the last thing, and it's a huge ship, and it's going to fucking take forever. And so I'm not doing it yet. I will do that big old ship, and I will have a lot of fun with that big old ship. But I don't know what else I'm going to do with it. Or not with, what was I going to say? I don't know when I'm going to finish that. I also, speaking of Power Wash Simulator, I did go in and power wash the DeLorean, because there was a glitch where some update messed it up, and that made it so that you didn't get credit for washing it. And so I washed that. So now I'm complete with that DLC. They put out a roadmap. They're going to be more paid DLC this year and a bunch of free seasonal updates, which is cool. So that'll be nice. At some point, I got to finish I got to get all updated with it, but it'll be a little while before I go in and do that. And I won't stream it. Aristofan says, "Congrats on Balatro. I'm still unlocking all the decks." Yeah, beating it in the normal difficulty was challenging, and I want to get back into it, but I got frustrated with that game, so I'm taking a break and just playing some Hearthstone. Hearthstone is at its 10-year anniversary, and I really enjoy the stuff that's coming out, and then also we're getting new cards next month in March, so. I'm excited to continue to play that and get in on that. So that's coming up. What have you all been saying? Lord Crashton says, I guess Jeff is streaming himself testing out the Game Scent thing right now. Oh yeah, that's right. The Game Scent, the thing that uses AI to identify via sound what is happening in the game you're playing, so then it can then shoot fucking goddamn whatever the fuck at you, sense and stuff. We'll probably raid Jeff then if he's still streaming when we're done. Ghost Valve is trying to catch up on Dungeon Meshi. Been sorting new cards from MC Chicago. Yeah, hell yeah. And also power washing. Nice. Lord Crashton finished up Yuffie DLC for Final Fantasy Remake and started Rebirth, which is good so far. Yeah, I've heard that game like starts and you're, some people were just like, wait, what's going on in this game? What the fuck's happening right now? But the people I know who have been playing Rebirth seem to like it. So I hope it's great. Aristophan says I'm working my way through Drive to Survive as the F1 season is starting. I think that you meant there. I assume that's what you meant. I don't think you meant Freakazoid. I don't think you mean that the Freakazoid, because that's F exclamation point. I don't think you mean the Freakazoid season is starting. Although Freakazoid season is starting. You just started Final Fantasy Rebirth and Baltro. Also, Ghost Valve says my squad is also on Helldivers 2. Hell yeah! Hell yeah, Ghost Valve. I hope you're having a great fucking time with that. I certainly am. Lashbrick says, I've got something like 60 episodes of One Piece left until you're caught up. Nice. You got to say, Wano pacing doesn't bother me as much since I don't have the manga fresh in memory compared to it. I think Wano's pacing is pretty fucking good. It's long, but also the manga for Wano was long. It's just a long fucking story. But I think the anime pacing for Wano is fine. There are a couple episodes where nothing happens that, like, there's at least a couple episodes in Wano that are all flashbacks of things we've already watched with no new information and then a cliffhanger. They do that, like, I think 3 times in that arc. So some of the pacing is bad, but most of it I think is fine. There we go. Got to snap that together. Got to make sure these are all snapped together. There we go. Okay. Sometimes these don't want to do the thing they're supposed to do. And then we got to connect this fucking feet. Get all this feet together here. Yes. Hearthstone is old, and therefore we are old because it is 10 years old. Let's see. Last week's excited for Dune 2 this weekend. Hell yeah. Enjoy more Dune. Let's see. Yeah, so old. And then S. Wild says, hope y'all are having a good evening. I certainly am. Thanks for being here. I have come through the other end of Shalahund. I enjoyed my time watching it. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. God, this kit is gorgeous. Like, I know, I said this, you heard me say this, that even with our lighting right now, you can't see that this is clear, but it is reflective. Every part of this kit is fucking gorgeous. I'm so excited about it. This is a really weird model kit. Clearly, obviously, the Devil Gundam. It's a 1995 non-grade. It's a weird build. The fact that they made a clear version of it is wild and kind of nonsensical. Like, why did they make a clear version of this kit? What were they thinking? Trying your phone light through it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me try that. I could try that. Let's see. What? Come on. Oh, that's right. I got to hold it down. All right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you can see it. All right. That's a good shout. So you can see there's the light through it. It is see-through. I mean, it's black on black, so that is tough, but you can see the light through it. It is a black clear, like a very dark gray clear. Let's see if you can see through. Yeah. So you can see through that little component, and you can see through the head. Good shout, Lashbrook. All right, and that turned it off. Great. I forgot. It's not tap it, it's slide it. This kit is going to be fantastic to put together. We're going to work on it. We're gonna I think we'll finish it by the end of Saturday's stream, is my guess. Reminder: we'll be back on Saturday in my bedroom. We're leaving this space here because my folks are returning, and my dad is going to want to watch television in this room, so I can't take it over. Oh, if I could. If only I could. Because, folks, I got to tell you, having my build space be separate from the room that I sleep in, making my bedroom just a bedroom, oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. Like, I finish up whatever I'm doing in here, I'm all ready to go and lay down, and then I just relax. Let's see, I need 48 and 48, and these are 47. So these are both, and this one's 48. It's 47, okay. And I could just relax in that room and decompress and then go to sleep. Oh, so nice. So nice. Oop. And a piece fell. I'm going to try to, let's see here. Get really close so that I'm not leaning too far. Got it. But yeah, it is so nice to be able to just have two separate spaces and not have my room get really hot because this computer is running in there all day and all night. It's so nice. But we're back in there on Saturday and it'll be okay. I know it'll be okay. Come on, get in there. Get in there. There you go. All right. And then these are 47, and they go in on the other side. And then we are done with the legs. We did the arms and the legs of this kit. We still have to do the inner frame here. Basically, we still have a lot. We still have stuff to do and plenty of stickers here because we got to build the head and the both heads and the chest. And the sticker here and the waist. So we still have some work to do here before we put it all together. And it just kind of all comes together and looks weird as hell. Hello, Vicky. Welcome. You're here right at the end of the stream, but I hope you're doing well. Just about to finish up this kit and finish up our stream for the night. We finished the Lego Interstellar Spaceship, which was a fantastic build. Nice, easy one. I recommend it a lot if you're looking for a Lego kit to put together. And now we were finishing up our stream. We were working on the Devil Gundam, the 1995 Devil Gundam. This is the clear version of it, the premium Bandai clear version. That originally, I believe, came out in 2022, but I got this year. That is rad and weird looking. And we're gonna wrap things up tonight. I'll have to take a photo of this weird stuff here. Get that going for all that. Put that over there. I'll take a photo once the stream is done. But yeah, we are going to wrap things up for tonight. We're going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We got raided tonight, which is awesome. And we need to share the love and go see what people are up to. Let's see. Jeff is still streaming. I love that 800 people are watching Jeff stream. So we're going to go, we'll go hang out with Jeff and see what he's up to because that's wild and weird that so many people, I mean, it makes sense, but it's funny that so many people are like, yes, I want to go and hang out and watch this thing, whatever this is. And then also he'll raid Smell of Death. Yes, he'll raid if he wraps up soon because he likes to do that. So let's go raid Jeff Gersman. Feel free to come along this raid. He's got this weird device that apparently smells based on the sounds and of things that he's playing. And it's weird. And we'll go hang out with Jeff. And I'll see you on Saturday. We're going to finish this kit, I'm sure. I'll run a poll tomorrow for my $10 patrons to decide what I'm doing next. Because I think I'm going to finish this by the end of the stream. So I need to know what's on deck. And I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.